Hello, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Let me see if you can all hear me at all. I forgot to connect this one here. Okay, start over. Hello, everyone. Hope you're all here. Anyhow, hello. So, what's up, guys? And we have Emmanuel says hello, hello. Male 28 Boston. Thank you for that. And then we have Maya. So there's a little double Y, so I gotta say Maya May. I think you have some kind of affinity towards the letter M, A, and Y. Maya May or Maya May. Either way sounds really interesting and different. Welcome. She says hello. She's a female 21 Thailand. All right. It's the first time, I think this first time, very first time ever. Is it? No, we had one participant before, a few years back, from Thailand. Well, you're certainly welcome. And Thomas says hello. So let's go back to see what Emmanuel's first comment is. She says, how can I accept the fact that I'm getting old? Do you have any other choice? It's like you're hungry, come out of the desert, and you find the only restaurant that's there, and you sit there, and all they have is soup, or all they have is bread and cheese, or all they have is a hamburger. One thing, and they put it in front of you, and you say, how could I accept that that's all there is? Oh, that's all there is. You're getting old. But that process should not be any different in concept from childhood. I mean, when you're born, you're getting old. 1 day old, 2 day old, 3 day old, 4 day old. You're getting old by the second, but that shouldn't be a concern because the whole span of life is supposed to be 100 years or over, or whatever we can make out of it. So if you want to constantly be thinking about the end of something, you'll never see the journey. You'll never enjoy what it is that journey is all about. You're all worried about, I don't want it to end. Yes, neither one of us do. But since it is not ending now, there is no end in sight, so to speak, hopefully, then why don't we just focus on the now? Because that what you're thinking about, what worries you about, does not exist. It's somewhere in the future, and the future hasn't even come. How could something that could happen in the future happen and be when the future itself is not there yet? So whatever is past is past. Whatever is in future is not yet here yet. The only reality is the now, and you're neglecting that by worrying about, I'm getting old, or how young I was before. Neither of them mean anything right now. So focus on the now, bring your life here, and focus on that very moment that you're wasting it thinking about you're getting old, and instead think, compared to tomorrow, I'm very young. Compared to 2 years from now, I'm very young. So why don't I exist and enjoy while I'm young? We're always young. Instead of focusing on, I'm getting old, why don't you focus on, I'm not as old as I could be one day. So I'm young. Change the script and you'll be fine. Anyhow, you have no choice. So go through it with smile. All right. Maya May says, for heaven's sake, if somebody wants to call you, a friend of yours sees you in the street and wants, by the time he or she calls you, Maya May, you're gone. I'm sure it's there's some trick to pronunciation of it. So No, I didn't leave you. I didn't leave you. But Emmanuel had his question earlier. I just said hello to everyone who had joined. If you look up, Emmanuel was way up there. So now it's Maya May's turn, and she says, "I recently split up with my boyfriend of 2 years. Congratulations, because 2 years that means you were 19. At 19, what do you know about yourself to know what kind of man you want? What does he know about himself to know what kind of woman he wants? So that was a great experience, and you're ready for the next. And that's what it is. If you never have a few boyfriends before you actually make your choice or actually find the one you're looking for, you'll always wonder. So this is part of the process. Means you're now closer to the one that you actually will end up with, at least for a few years. Who knows what happens after that? So she says, he broke up with me because I made him feel untrustworthy. He said things to me before he left like, I'm disgusted of you. I was only jealous of him. Well, that's a bad thing to say if says disgusted of you. That's not good. That's not proper. If you're jealous, most people are jealous toward each other, whether man or woman. It just means they're really into that relationship. And yeah, when you become jealous, maybe you become controlling or too many questions, and the person may feel emboldened. The person may feel big headed because you're paying so much attention. And therefore, when they feel big headed or feel that you're really after them or paying so much attention, if they don't have enough confidence in themselves, they start thinking, well, if she pays so much attention to me and I don't think really I'm that much, but she pays so much attention to me, she thinks I'm that much, but I know I'm not. Therefore, she must not be much that she thinks I'm much. And because of that, I don't want her. Because they don't have enough confidence to believe their luck that some nice girl likes them so much. Most men or women, mostly women, seem to be wanting someone, in your case, the other way around, who doesn't pay too much attention to them. And as soon as there's lots of attention to them, they lose themselves thinking they're too good for the other person, instead of appreciating that pure love and attention, which is amazing feeling. But some people don't have the capacity. So you got to pace yourself and figure out if this person is interested enough or needs a game to be played to appreciate you, or he's genuinely confident and interested and wise enough to see all the credibilities, all the credentials in you, and appreciate your attention and reciprocate. So perhaps you were just too maybe clingy or too concerned about his wishes and if he's happy, if he's going to leave you or whatnot, and that reflected in a way that he thought he's too good. And in that case, in fact, your luck is good ridden. If a person cannot take your affinity, your attention, your kindness, your attention to him, might as well not be in a relationship with that person. Why? Because that's who you are. You're emotional. You like your boyfriend. You like your relationship. You like your life. You're content. And you got to find someone who actually appreciates that rather than, due to lack of confidence, think you're not good enough because you pay so much attention to him. So that's a different way of thinking. And I think you take it for as a blessing that you didn't waste your time more, and you're perhaps a little bit more content and mature in your relationship seeking. And I don't know how old he was and what he was doing, and obviously he got a big head. So you're 21, you're young and spring chicken. So go on and find Other tigers out there. They're all looking for chicken. So you're in demand. Don't worry. You're a woman. What's wrong with you? All you have to do is just look at someone and smile a little bit and look at him a little bit more than 1 second. And then they'll come. And they'll probably be far better than the one that you had, because now you're a different age. So the ones that you will be attracting would be a little bit older fellows, and they would probably have had more education and a better job and possibility of, having built a career, accomplished. So then you will find more things in common with them, and more some kind of a relationship that you can count on, rely on. And Maya May says, thank you so much for your words of advice. Been a fan for so long. Your videos get me through so much situations in my life. Truly appreciate everything. I appreciate you to pay attention to my videos and my long speeches, because it could be tiring. But mind you, I sometimes listen to them when I'm trying to sleep, and sure enough, before I know it, I'm gone, and I wake up. So I'm talking. I say, "Shut up! I want to sleep." But in fact, I do have that effect on people, whether it's my tone of voice or the topic of discussion, actually puts people to sleep. So I appreciate you for spending your time with my channel, and supporting the channel, and helping it to get somewhere, which so far we're still looking for that somewhere. So let's see. That's it. In the whole world, in the whole wide world, this channel has 3 people in its live streaming. Shame on me. I told you, it doesn't worth the time. The content is nonsense. Look, nobody's here. After so many years, we have only 23, shy of 24,000 subscribers. And the live stream is what? 3? Might as well make it a, private consultation. All right. No, I haven't smoked anything, and I haven't drank anything. I'm just in a goofy mood today. I wonder why. And there's my friend. You all are, of course. Carpe diem is here. It says, Mehran, during your most difficult time in your life, how did you overcome it? Thank you. Okay, I'll address that. Thomas says, I got out of a toxic relationship 2 months ago. With my ex. Congratulations. We had good times, but also constantly argued over little things. I'm having trouble moving on. Naturally. But how long was this relationship? How old was this relationship? And Thomas says, how do I stop living in the past? There is no past, so you can't be living in the past, so might as well get out of it, because all you're doing, you're living in a virtual world, because past is only virtual. You are made out of physical entity, and you can touch and things, and you can be in the space and time in connection with things that exist, also objects as physical. That's your normal existence, is the resonance. But if you're in the past, you're not in the real world. You're in a virtual moment, which means part of your entity, the physical entity, is not being used, is useless, is absent. Because in the virtual world, you don't need your hand or do this or do that or talk what. It's all virtual. None of them is real. None of them you can change, or you can change if it's not real, but nothing in reality and actuality happens. So how to come out of, what does it say? How do you stop living in the past? I'm trying to tell you that there is no past to live in it. When you're in the past, you're not living. Past is gone. Past is dead. So when you are actually in the past and you think you're living in the death of the past, which is no living. So might as well understand this and get out of the past, because you can't change anything as it has happened in the past, in the memory. You can't modify anything. You're just there wasting your time. And one reason that you are in the past is because there is an order that is missing in your life now. What I mean is that when you were with that girl, that girlfriend, you both would wake up, get up, either together or separately, depending on what your living arrangement was. But each one of you would do certain things called mechanical processes. Those certain things: get up, wash your face, have your tea or coffee, breakfast, go take the bus or take your car, drive, go to work. After that, each one of you would do things separately or together, maybe get together, go to gym together, or go to dinner, or go to cinema, or part of the stuff were individually and part of the stuff were collectively together. All of that mechanical process, the stuff that you were involved in, would create a routine, an order of your life. And now that you've broken up, that order as it was set, organized, is broken. The only place that this order still exists is in your memory. Now let's find out, why is it that you need that order? Because your body finds security and is looking for security. Since thousands of years ago, we've been looking for security for our body. And your body finds security in physicality, in physical areas. So you touch yourself, you know where you are, and you're in your apartment, door is locked, and you're in a good part of town. I'm safe, physically. But the mind doesn't find security in physicality, in physical areas. It finds security in the order of things, in how things are done during the day. That's where the mind hangs its hat. That's where the mind finds psychological security. That's where the mind finds security. And your security, the order where mind finds security in it, has been created through certain mechanical processes. Some of it was singularly by you individually, and some of it with your girlfriend together. That's where the mind used to find its security, through the order that you guys had created. Now that order is broken, but the mind still needs order to feel secure. Where can it find? There is no order here. You're going up and down, this and that, over here, over there. Things are broken. The rhythm is broken. You're not doing the things you used to do. Where's it going to find it? In the memory. That's why you keep going in the memory, because in the memory, there is a copy, recording of the order. How things used to be is still the same, because it's the memory. So the mind goes in there and is roaming around and enjoying a certain certainty and order, how things used to be. While it's there finding security, your girlfriend is there too, because it's part of the memory. And then it constantly, when she's there, the prerequisite for desire, which is also recorded, and I've explained to you in different video, short and long ones, what are the prerequisites for desire, the steps for desire to take place. Those steps are also in the memory, already happened. So when you're there and she's there, the desire, because of all the prerequisites have been met in the memory recorded already, also is born again. When the desire born, you miss her. So the whole idea, the remedy, is not to go in the memory. Be engaged in the present moment, in the efforts that you can make in accomplishing something, learning something, doing things that you want to do, creating new interests, and through new things to do, new mechanical processes, you create a new routine, you create a new order, and the mind needs not to go into the memory to find order anymore, because you've created the new order with the new things that you've been involved in. And then you will not see her, and the prerequisite of the desire, which is already recorded, would not rise up again in your memory, and you would not desire her. Having said that, and go see if you can find these content somewhere else, in one of these other channels that talk about relationships. And yet, I'm complaining, because yet I've got 24,000 subscribers. They have about 500, 600,000. Why? God damn it, guys. It's all about education. And we have real content here. So talk about it here and there. Let people know. Otherwise, we'll just wither and die. All right. I said it. I bitched as much as I could. And now, but who's listening? Carpe Diem says, thumbs up, guys and gals, for this amazing teaching. Well, there's my cheerleader, my buddy. Carpe Diem, thank you for that, very much for that. Says, even if three are watching, gosh. Yeah, for heaven's sake. How many thumbs up do we have? We have 5 watching. I hope we have 5 thumbs up. Otherwise, I'd be really Maya, no, Maya, no, Maya, May. Anyhow, I'll get it eventually. Says, I still am here. I'm still here. Well, thank you for that. So we should have at least 1 and 1 Carpe Diem thumbs up. And I'm sure Emmanuel has done it too, which leaves Thomas. Thomas, if you haven't, you're in trouble. Thomas says he was about 2 years. Okay. Yeah. And Thomas, how old are you? Why the hell you guys forget about giving me this little information? Look, Emmanuel said M28 Boston. And May says 21 F21 Thailand. And so where is yours, Thomas? I should have checked before giving you the answer. I hold the answer ransom for information. And Carpe Diem says male 43 Canada. See, we got them all, but you're the one. Black sheep of the family. Come on. Quickly. I'll take the answers back, you know. Thomas says, I'm here. Thank you very much for the advice. You're welcome, but you still owe us the credentials. Gender, age, where you're tuning in from. Come on, you can't get away from it. There we go. I'm 27. I feel like I'm getting old as well. Yeah, we're all getting. So shut up, guys. Enjoy your time. This bullshit is about getting old. Most of you are spring chicken and talking about getting old. Then what am I? A fossil? I'm 66 years old, 2 days ago. And where is your congratulations? The ones who missed it. I'm counting numbers. I'm writing notes. All right. Yes, I agree. I'm really in a goofy mood today, but what can I say? I'm young and spring chicken, at least. I don't know what's wrong with you guys. Each one of you, 27, 30, 35, and 40, 45, and still think, I'm getting old. When I was 45 years old, I thought I'm top of the world. For heaven's sake. Honestly. In everything. It's cool. I'm still cool, by the way. Just don't forget that. And Carpe Diem says, happy birthday. Thank you very much, Carpe Diem. And Miami says, happy belated birthday. My pleasure. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Very kind of you, dear. See, this is how I get what I want. Ask for it. So, otherwise, who cares? Who cares about this channel? Who cares about me? I have to ask, please wish me happy birthday. Good tea. Morgan Freelancer says, do you believe in God, or is life just meaningless? Why would it be meaningless? I love every little bit of this experience of this tea. It's meaningful. I love seeing my son. I love to see how he's negotiating life. I love to see my abilities to go to the gym and get some workout in. I love to produce something. I like to help somebody. I love to come up with understanding, learning, educating myself. researching and helping others. There's so many things to love. I love to walk by the ocean, look at the trees, and see that they are made out of the same energy as I am, just like those crows and birds that are flying and having a little cake at the beach and says, don't feed the birds, but the hell with it. I feed them a little bit, and I see they're all gathered around and same life energy there. All these are connections. So what's there not to love? I don't love the bullshit that is, pushing on people to take their choices and away from them and push them to do certain thing with their bodies that they don't want to do, which is happening today. Those things I don't like. But there's so many other things that we can focus on and try also to fix the things that are broken, such as the bloody world that is broken right now with all the nonsense that is going in it and forcing people to do things that they don't want to do. It's their choice, goddammit. It's their life. And all they're doing, they're playing us against each other. You did this, so you're good. You didn't do that, oh, you're not good. Fight now. No, we won't. We are the people on this earth. We love each other. We respect each other. We back each other up. You want to do that? Go ahead, do it. Good for you. You don't want to do it? Don't do it. I'm support you. We all support each other. That's how we can have a democratic country and democratic world. Be free by backing each other. Don't let them play us against each other. Do not. You want something, go get it. Fine. You don't want, somebody else doesn't want it, don't frown upon them. They have as much right as you have. And they're no threat to you whatsoever. If you got this thing, then you're protected, right? That's what this thing is, to get protected. So if you're protected from the source of this thing that is in the air, that somehow comes and, gets you the whatever it gets you, makes you sick. If you can be protected from that by when you get this, then how come you're not protected if that thing goes through somebody else and then you're not protected because now this person has it? You are protected against the source of it, but you're not protected if it goes through me. What's the matter with you guys? Do you really buy into that bullshit? They're playing us. Don't. You want to get it? Go get it. More power to you. I support you. You don't want to get it? Don't get it. More power to you. I support you. We're supporting each other. We're all human beings. Until 2 years ago, we were all friends. There was no animosity. Now the leaders are making us go against each other. Don't fall for that. Don't fall for that. Don't fall for that. That's the beginning of communism. Dictatorial. Don't let the freedom go. All right. My goodness, Carpe Diem again supports the channel. We have a $20 super chat. And thank you, Carpe Diem. Always you're supporting the channel, and you don't really have to. And Maya May says, what are your thoughts on psychology behind talking down on someone behavioral, especially in a relationship? Well, they say there's two ways to have the tallest building in town. One is to destroy all other buildings. Then you'll end up with the tallest building. One is to keep building your own. The ones who are actually condescending and talking down on their friends or other people are the ones who have no talent to build their own. So the only way they can look big is by knocking the other one down. So what they do is not a reflection on you. It's a reflection on them and how weak they are and how incapable they are. So don't give a damn. Move on. Yes, Royal Doyle, I'm coming up to you. I notice it. Royal Doyle says, male 26 from from MO, and then quickly in bracket it says, not Montreal. He says, I know you're going to say that. Okay, so MO. Massachusetts? Minnesota? See, I always go back and forth between. So where the hell is it? MO. Is it Minnesota? Massachusetts? Says I always go back and forth between focusing on my goals and health and seeking someone to date. Yeah. So what's wrong with that? Goals, health, and seeking someone to date. What's wrong with that? Missouri. Why does it have to be so hard? Missouri. MO. I'm glad you spelled it right because I don't want to read it in misery. Of course, Missouri. You know, it's just a joke. All right. So what's wrong with that? Focusing on your goals and health and seeking someone to date. What do you mean going back and forth? You can have it all. So what is the question, Royal Doyle? Okay. Says I always go back and forth between focusing on my goals and health and seeking someone to date. What's back and forth? You can have them both, all three of them. I don't get the question. Oh, there is one more question from Thomas. Thomas says, well, most people my age are getting married. Yeah, most people your age are also drunk in the streets too, or they use drugs all the time, or this and that, or they're into all kind of shit. What does that have to do with what works for you and what's suitable for you and what has what's the right time for you, or what does that mean? Most people. What does this fucking thing means that you guys are all hung up with since childhood? Most people. That's exactly why you become sheeps. Most people. So all they have to do is to put a fear or some kind of a motivation to make most people in your area to do something that perhaps not even right, so you will then do it. So is that how you want to live? No. So I really don't care how many people get married at your age. You're supposed to find the right girl for yourself. If that is the right partner and you're happy with her, you guys see that you can tolerate each other, grow together, it's a different story. What do I care? Honestly. You know? So stop that business of most people. It means nothing. It means shit. Most people, go to disco every night. Is that good? Most people work, I don't know, 40 hours a week, hardly. Is that enough? You can do more or you can do less. Depends on what it is that you're into. And Doyle says, if I think about one, I can't focus on the other. Okay. So, in other words, if you have a plate of food and there's meat and potato in it, if you start eating out of potato, you leave the meat alone. Or if you start eating the meat, You neglect the potato until the meat is done. Yeah. But what if it was a continuous plate that you constantly fill in? So if you start the meat, you'll never finish. So you'll always be doing busy with the meat. And the potatoes stay there. You never taste them, you never enjoy them, you never get the benefit, all the magnesium and the good stuff in it. Hmm? But have you tried a little bit of a meat and a little potato put together on your fork and put it in? Pretty good. Hmm? So combination in proportion will bring much better recipe for pretty much everything. In your plate food, in things that you want to accomplish. Because what happens when you constantly eat the meat, even that little bit in your plate, gets boring. You get tired and stop eating. You're full before you have had a chance to try the potato that is delicious stuff too. You know, mashed potato, great. Maybe some gravy too. Depends on what you like. But you will never get to try it because you've been constantly into the meat, or vice versa. Now, in your life, if you constantly try to focus on your goals and health, okay, your goals, you neglect the health, you neglect relationship. If you're constantly focusing on what girl, where's the next date I can find, well, you'll be trying so hard on that that time passes and you're searching for that and researching for that and exhausting your resources, and then you neglect your goals and your workout, your health. Again, the same way, you're not benefiting from it all. And what if actually all the time you spend to find a date, you won't find any? So you just wasted the whole thing. But if you proportion the time available to you, you say, okay, I've got my goals. Today, my goals are this. So I'm going to do this bit, and then I'm going to go work out for 1 hour or whatever it is that you like, not more. If you do 2, 3 hours, then you don't have any, you just want to come home and eat, and that's it. So you do that and you work out. And if the gym is mixed, then you may have some possibilities there to find some people to talk to, or you finish your goal, you finish your workout, and then maybe you go to a, I don't know, some activity, some outing somewhere, and you will have a chance to interact and socialize, and maybe that will also be part of you finding a date. So you got to manage that. Otherwise, you can't be just doing one thing until that thing can continue being exciting forever. So what are you going to do? Neglect everything else? It's like saying you have 5 children and you only, when you, let's say, doing some activity with one, you can only think of that child of yours to help him or her with what it is, the project that they have, and neglect all others. You won't do that. You will come up with a balance to make sure that you're useful for all of them. So you got to do the same thing. Whom have I missed here, guys? Hmm. So what else do we have here? Am I caught up? Carpe Diem says, I have to run in 10 minutes. I have an online course on mindfulness of thought, emotion, and awareness. I will check your answer to my question after. Thanks, Maron. You're quite welcome. Oh, you have a question here. Where is it? Oh, Oh, yes, 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 yes. I forgot to say that. Yes, yes, I passed on. Carpe Diem says, Mehran, during your most difficult times in your life, how did you overcome it? Thank you. With no plans, I just did whatever was possible to do. No thinking about what's challenging, what's difficult, what's possible, what's impossible. Didn't think of anything, just did what the best thing could be done for that particular challenge at the time. Every corner, every possibility didn't come short. Was it research? Was it learning about it? Was it chores? Was it staying up? Was it whatever it was? I just went through and did it without consideration of the severity of difficulty, level of difficulty, challenge, time consuming, if I have to stay up or not, how difficult or how time consuming or impatient. None of that was matter. The goal was to do the best possibility that I could ever provide, I could ever do. How to be part of the solution, what is needed to be done, not what I can do or cannot do, what is needed to be done. The idea of I can or cannot was not there. What needs to be done, I'll do it. So focus on what needs to be done. The power is there as long as you're focused, determined to do the best all there is possibly that you could do, and never cut short on your responsibilities. Then you know you've done whatever could be possible to do, not what you could do, whatever could be possible to do. That's all I can say for that without going too much into it. And Morgan says, how do you feel? How do you deal? I'm sorry. How do you deal with negative comments from others and people trying to bring you down and tell you that you can't do something? It doesn't matter because I'm the one who's doing it. How do they know what I can or cannot do? You know yourself better than anybody else. And you know if you believe you can do it. Look, I want you all put your hand on your knee, on your thigh. Hmm? And I want you to think that your hand, all the surface of it here, which is on your thigh, like this, I want you to think that all your hand is glued, sealed 100% as one to your thigh. I want you to keep that thought in your mind, focus on it, that your palm of your hand is sealed, glued with the toughest, and it's one piece with your thigh. While you're thinking that way, I want you to try to take your hand off your thigh. Can't do it, can you? You're convinced, you have believed. Imagine it's one piece, glued, hard, sealed to your thigh. It's one piece. Having that in mind, that is stuck in there, you try to lift it while thinking it's glued heavily in there. Stuck. One piece. Can't lift it up. Mind moves the body. So if you believe the nonsense that the others say, how can you actually complete and accomplish what you want to accomplish by having this in your mind, by having believed the bullshit that they have fed you, instead of replacing the bullshit with your own narrative, which is, I can do and I will because it's up to me. I am the one who is initiating this movement. This what needs to be done. How do they know what I can or cannot do? I do know, and I am determined to do it, and you will. Because now, when you think that, okay, I can lift my hand, easy, I can't lift it. The order is not given, so you won't lift it. So if you believe them, it's like you're giving an order that I can't do it. So don't believe them. They can talk about themselves. Carpe Diem says, thank you for your answer. Much appreciated. Just do it. As Nike commercials. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. There's no time to debate your abilities. You want it done, just do it. Just do what you can, the best you can. Not, don't come short. The best, top quality, precise, fully focused. Those are in your abilities. So the rest of it gets done. Um, yep, right. Right you are. Carpe diem, right you are. Don't think too much. Just do what needs to be done without too much analysis and emotional attachment. I've been doing this. It has helped. Thank you. Yes. Says thank you. See you next time. Much appreciated. My pleasure. Always good to see you. And Morgan Freelancer says thanks, Miran. You're welcome. Royal Doyle says also, what do Canadians think about Trump? Well, I've changed my my thinking about him. I was fully focused on his behavior towards women and all the other stuff, which was always a critical point and not proper, and nobody condones that, and I didn't either. And I also didn't like him because I didn't think he knew what he was doing. It was very different things. But there are certain things about him that I like now. Having seen how the world has gone to shits with all these weak leaders all around the world that are bowing to some entity of some kind, I don't know who they are, and doing what they say rather than protecting the people who voted for them. So, but looking at some of the things that Trump would do, he would probably not fall for that shit. As many things that I don't agree with him, but there are some things that I think it is more American, and it's also needed in Canada to respect certain private choices and private selections and freedom of choice for people, and get the government out of the heads of people, and get the dictatorship that limits the people's freedom of choice away. Let people live. We, the people, are the ones who are making this world go, not the governments. Governments are getting paid from our work, so you better respect us. And unfortunately, every time something happens, military and police help the government, where they're supposed to be protecting us. We are no threat to anything. The government are the ones who are using the forces of police and military to dictate to us, pressure us to do unreasonable things with our own bodies. This is unheard of. This is not normal. And if the police officers and military abide by that, that's unfortunate. They're also human beings like us. If they take the uniform off, they can see how bad it is. But putting the uniform on, that shouldn't mean they should lose their senses and reasonability and respect for our Canadian way of living, democracy, freedom of choice. This is why many people around the world left their countries and came to this country for democracy. Now, what are we telling them? You made a mistake? We hope armed forces and police will resort to their humanity and understand that they're in it the same as us. We're all human. We're all educated. We all know what's going on, what's not going on. We should be able to make decisions for our own children, for our own lives and bodies, not the government. Just like the government cannot tell a woman or a man who they should sleep with or be in relationship with, they cannot tell us what we should or shouldn't put in here. Anyhow, let's move on that. Mike says, I'm thinking of a question for you as I have enjoyed your videos lately. Lately? How dare you? You mean you haven't until just lately? Or you've been sleeping? Mike, don't forget about your credentials. Gender, age, where are you tuning in from? Sports Zone says, greetings from the UK. Greetings, Sports Zone. Gender, age, and where are you tuning in from? I got the UK part. Okay. And age and gender. And Flying Order says, why do I smile? Why don't you tell me your age, gender, and where you're tuning in from? Then I'll read your question. How about that? Mike sending us a smile. Or more than that. Ah, ha, ha. Okay, let me give you a little bit extra scene when I'm having my. There we go. There we go. So that's a better view when I'm having my tea. You can see part of my favorite place in the world, which is Maui. There's my boat. Not boat, a boat. My boat in the picture. And there's the Black Rock. Beyond it, there's a beautiful beach, shallow and lovely. These are my favorite trees. Okay, Sports Zone says male 24 UK. Flying Order says age 26, male India. Ah, thank you. And so Flying Order says, why do I get smiling reaction to intrusive thought, HOCD, even though I always had crushes on girls and hard on with girls only? Okay. You can smile at anything. You know, sometimes you walk in the street and you see, you're walking, honestly, you just think about it. You walk and you see dog shit. You smile. What can you? Because it's an anxiety response. What the, instead of saying, what the fuck? You smile. So, like, how ridiculous, or what is that? You said dog shit. You didn't expect that. What is that? What is it supposed to mean? What are you doing there for? You smile. You smile for whatever. Who cares? Maybe the intrusive thought, shows certain kind of a attention, and the attention is what you smile, not who is paying that attention to you. The fact that the attention is what the focal point on that story, on that intrusive thought is. Anyhow, the best thing that it is for HOCD is to don't interpret it. So what? You're asking why I do this as if whatever that you do in reaction to thought is actually you. If you have HOCD, intrusive thought shows up. That means there is a malfunction in the signaling system of the brain. That means the brain has a disorder, is malfunctioning. So your response to that intrusive thought is also through the malfunctioning brain, which is the smile. It's not like, oh, the intrusive thought is malfunctioning brain, but my reaction to it is mine. No, you're also under the influence of the fucking HOCD brain malfunction, even in your reaction to the intrusive thoughts. So that's what the big question is sometimes. You say, I know I'm not interested in that. Whatever your gender is, this HOCD is also hits homosexuals, and this HOCD also hits heterosexual. Whatever your gender is, when it hits you, you know you're not interested in that suggestion. You know that. The awareness is there. The awareness between what you are and what the suggestion of intrusive thought is there. And that's enough for you to know that you're not interested. Because if you were in line with the HOCD intrusive thoughts, there would be no awareness to see the contradiction. There would be no awareness of the contradiction between what HOCD suggests and what you are, what your preferences are and what your HOCD suggests and thought is. But because there is a contradiction and you see that there's an awareness to see the contradiction, that's the end of the story. You're not what the suggestion is. That's HOCD, malfunction of the signaling system of the brain. Let that go. Don't interpret any of this shit that shows up. There we go. You can smile, you can fart, you can do whatever you want. None of them mean anything. Don't interpret now your reaction to the intrusive thought. What was that? Now you're going to be interpreting the rest of your life for what? Bullshit. And that interpretation is also taking place by the malfunctioning brain. So not valid, any of them. And Mike says male 44 US. All right, thank you for that. Flying orders, thanks so much, Mira. You're welcome. Sports Zone says, I have been having trouble dealing with uncertainty in HOCD. Any tips on how to deal with it? I don't really understand what you mean, uncertainty in HOCD. You're supposed to be uncertain. Nothing is certain that's left. The whole fucking life is not certain. But you're trying to make a certainty out of a certain concept which you damn well know and aware that it's got nothing to do with your personal preference. It's an idea, suggestion that the brain, due to its malfunctioning, is throwing in. It's no different than you're walking in the street, people saying things that you're not interested in. What are you going to say? Why did they say that? What does that mean to me? No. The problem is that you don't understand that your brain is also as foreign to you as somebody across the street. You think because the brain is mounted on your head, on your body, then it's you. Therefore, what it says, you got to question, you got to have a clarification, you got to have interpretation. No, it's just some jackass is talking, and you don't need to listen to it. You hear it and you go on. You don't need to interpret because it is clear to you you're not interested. That doesn't, fluff your boat. You're not interested. So if you're not interested, whatever your gender is, intrusive thought shows up and you're not interested, you're not interested. Ouch. Sometimes there's a nerve from the finger that goes to the side of your body. So when you're not interested, that's the end of it. You don't have to interpret it. But the problem is that you think because it's happening in the screen of your head, it must mean something to you personally. No, Brain is not you, you're not the brain. It's an independent system. It does its own bloody thinking, and that's not your thinking. Brain is an apparatus that is there for you to use it with information that has seeped through from all kind of mediums in the world into your consciousness. You pick up something, use the apparatus of the brain, and make a thought for yourself in order to advance yourself, produce something, learn something, whatever it is you want to accomplish. But when you're not doing it, brain at the same time is also using its own apparatus and making thoughts, 80, 90,000 thoughts a day, from shit to Z, from A to Z. And none of them are relevant to you. It's brains using the apparatus, not you. But because it happens on the screen of your head, you think, oh, it must be me. How could it be you when you even didn't ask for it? You didn't even know it's coming up and it pops up. Suddenly you're responsible for something that pops up. No different than if there's a robbery across the street in the bank. I'm responsible. Why? Because I was in the vicinity. What the hell is that? So understand the separation between brain and you and thoughts. And then let it go. You don't have to interpret anything or react to anything, to everything that shows up. Okay. Yasin says, hello. A long time. I hope remember me. Not exactly. I do remember this name, I think, but it must have been years ago. Anyhow, welcome. And FIFA says, feeling my attraction, what should I do? Nothing. It's your brain making the body react, because brain is very powerful. Makes your body react. Yeah? So brain can make the body react in certain ways that it's not even natural. It's not even supposedly normal to you. Check this out for a second. I want to show you something, how powerful the brain is, what it can do, which is normally is not something that we all are aware of, but is within the capability when we actually able to manipulate the brain and make it do what we want, use its power to what we want, rather than when it goes rogue and uses power to make our body react to something that we have no interest in. Check this out. Subscribe on my channel, visit my channel, and go through the videos that you might be interested in. Mind@seekstruth.com is making it one step away to talk to me one-on-one on Skype and discuss what's concerning you. I'll talk to you soon. But we too, like the iceberg, have 1,000 times bigger powers that is not visible, and we must. Why? Is it something we're rambling on and I expect you to accept it? Or is there actually another power within us? Would you come and help me out? Okay. What I want you to do is put your hands underneath my arms and just lift me up. There we go. Okay, now, that's my physical part, right? Same thing. Again, with that. Just want to see if there's any difference. Go ahead. Now, go ahead. Now, this, go ahead, when you're ready.
Go ahead.
So you see, this is different than what he was doing, and I'm not really doing anything. You convinced?
Yeah.
So are you guys convinced that there is something other than, thank you. Thank you very much. So, was it visible for you guys? If you saw, that is not something that everybody can do, but it's very simple. When you use the power of the brain brain is so powerful that by thinking, you can actually not be lifted off the ground, which is against the law of physics. A bigger person should be able to lift a smaller person, which it was possible at the beginning, but when I switched it over, it couldn't. So that tells you the same way the brain can make your body feel things that you didn't select it. When it goes rogue and it's not under your control. So you're supposed to understand this and then ignore it. Not that, oh, I felt something. Yeah, because it can make that happen when the brain is malfunctioning. It doesn't have your mandate in mind. It doesn't have your direction in mind. It's not hitting on all cylinder for your values. It doesn't know even what values are, because brain is not intellect. It's not smart. It's just doing something that is seen out there, exists, and now is using whatever information is in the consciousness and throws in this and that, so forth, and attacks you opposite of what you are in order to get a rise out of you. So you defend it, you argue with it, and through that occupation, the brain finds security. Because the brain doesn't find security like the body finds security in physical areas, sitting, relaxed, having tea. The brain finds security in busyness, in occupation, in order, in things that it's doing. Especially in this time of day, the things have changed. The brain is not, everybody's not as busy as they were before. They're not following the routines. Everything has changed. So now the brain is now finding its security in creating occupation and business. How can it do that? Not by complimenting, oh, you're such a stud, you like women. Yeah. That's the end of the conversation. But if it attacks you opposite of what you are, you rise, you get ferocious, you want to defend it, and there's an argument back and forth, so on. And through that occupation, that business, it finds security, a place, because the brain doesn't have a place in the body to focus on and to relax unless you teach it. Because it's in my book, how you can show brain needs a home and how you can have a place in the body so mind and body would be coordinated, which is the time that you actually saw the exercise. You can't be lifted when mind and body is both focused on the same point. So you're controlling, having the mind, having the brain to function according to your desire, meaning being with your body, not scattered all over the place. You give it a place. When you give it a place, it doesn't want to talk or do anything, just relaxes. And that relaxation is a combination, coordination of mind and body. And then it connects to the universe itself, which is impossible to lift. So brain is very powerful, but if you don't give it enough things to do or learn, teach it and train it, it'll go rogue and do all kind of weird things, and it doesn't know what it's doing. It's just doing things. And you think it means something because it's a brain, it's your brain. No, separate yourself from the brain, and then when it does do nonsense, then you just ignore it until it learns and rewires itself through neuroplasticity and becomes again what it's supposed to be functioning for you. Mike says, I asked the question above. Did you now? Yeah, I see the question. Anything about? Oh, yes, you want me to answer it. It says, why would a breakup relapse? Why would a breakup relapse? Why would a breakup relapse occur after 6 months? Who says it does? To some people, maybe it does. In your case, you mean why your breakup? But what does breakup relapse mean? Like, you mean you broke up and you were fine and you went on with it and you were okay with it, and then you're missing her again? Well, if you haven't replaced the relationship in that 6 months, if you haven't created new mechanical processes to create new routine, hence new order for your life, therefore your brain is not content because it doesn't find its security in the order, because you haven't created a new order, and the order that you had before with your girlfriend is broken. So your routine is broken, your mechanical process is broken, so your mind doesn't find security to hang its hat. So then it goes into the memory to find that order, because everything is recorded there. And when it's there, it sees your girlfriend because it's part of the whole memory. And then when it sees that, the steps as prerequisites for desire is also recorded, which triggers that, and the steps for desire to be born will reactivate themselves, and you desire her again. All of that because you have not moved on to find new things you're interested in and new exciting things for your life, new mechanical processes, new orders, and therefore you keep going to the memory. Memory sees her, and with seeing her, the steps for desire that is necessary to be born is recorded there. They'll be triggered back on, they'll be on again, and they are in full motion, and therefore the desire is born again, then you miss her. I think that's what you mean here, and I hope that is what you have tried to get answer to. Says, when right after the relationship there was a very minimal emotional response at all, but rather a feeling of relief. Yeah, well, because that's an immediate feeling of certain problems that are immediate in your face. So the breakup takes those problems away, so you feel relieved. But after a while, when you haven't replaced it, then what I said starts. You start looking for a place where your mind can find security, and you go into the memory to find the order, and then you see her and the desire, the rest of it. It's kind of, it's silly, but it's kind of like when you're in the ocean and the water is cold, tropical place, hot. You go in the ocean, it's maybe, I don't know, somehow nighttime, it's so hot, and then you just go into the ocean. And then, but the water is cold. So after a while, you say, oh, water is cold, water is cold. And then when you come out of the water, you feel good. The problem is over. The cold is gone. Now it's warm out there in the beach. Great, great. But then you wait a little longer, maybe half an hour later, it's really hot. Now you miss the cold again because you didn't actually dry yourself and move on to an air-conditioned place after you came out of the ocean to have a balanced temperature. It was cold, problem, so you wanted to come out. So you came out, you felt good. So the relationship had problems and pain in the ass, so you broke up, you felt good. But you stayed out too long and you didn't do things that you were supposed to do. And now you again missing what some of the good things of the relationship was there. So for that reason, you miss the relationship. So you come out from the cold of the water, then you stay too long instead of taking care of yourself and go do whatever you got to do in air-conditioned place, a, a, a better climate or balanced temperature. Then you start getting too hot again. Then you miss the coldness of the water. So it's pretty much the same. I hope that example does justice to what I want to say, but nevertheless, that's what it is. FIFA says, hi, Meran. I don't know if you remember me, but I had some loss of attraction for women, and you posted my comment on one of your videos. If you forget, I'm 15, male, straight in Canada, background Persian. Oh, FIFA, but you had a uh, different screen name, didn't you? And I think I asked you if you have permission from your parents to be here. I believe you said yes, you have permission from them to be on this channel because this channel is for 18 years old and over. Am I right? Am I remembering it right? Okay, good. Yeah, all right. And FIFA says you already answered me. Yes, I think I did. And so we have Mike says that makes sense. Gosh, thanks, Miran. You're quite welcome. What was your question? I see. I read an answer, but I don't remember. Oh yeah, there's the relapse or whatever. Yeah, okay, got it. And Rahul is here. Hello, sir. He says 34 male. India, Rahul, I believe. Says bought acoustic guitar yesterday. Oh, did you know? After watching your video of, oh, really? I got to get the commission from the store, whoever you went to buy it from. Says, I will learn and teach my daughter. Good job. And day 7, no communication with wife. Will keep waiting. Let her know my absence as well. Yes. Hang in there. There's nothing you can do. The more you go, it's like shadow. The further you go, you can't reach. So sometimes you gotta wait till the sun changes its position and the shadow actually comes towards you. Hmm? That's the time you can communicate. It's close enough. Otherwise, you keep going after her, the shadow is always ahead of you because there's no interest. You patiently wait, do the right things, send gift to your daughter, give love to your daughter, show your personality as a provider, as a supporter, as a protector. Don't say much or anything to your wife. Let her feel you're there, but through what you do for your daughter. And let her feel that there's a man there who actually is being a great father and yet pays no attention to her. Not negatively, just doesn't bother her, doesn't, let her do whatever it is that she wants to do. And then see when she approaches you, says something, don't go on and say, well, I told you we should get back to none of that. Do not say anything about getting back together. Nothing. Even when you guys talking, nothing. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Show independence as if you are, building your life and you should. Your career, your money, make money, be busy with your work. And through the generosity and what you do for your daughter, she will get to see and she may actually envy you. And then we'll talk about it then. For now, you genuinely focus on building your life, your career, money, and be the best father you can be for your daughter and leave her alone. Not ignore her, but leave her alone until she asks for something. And then don't run. Says, sure, I'll do what I can do. But don't be, oh, thank you for asking me for to do something. No, don't be a pussycat. Just say, sure, dear. At the first available time, I will do the best I can do. And whenever you did whatever it is that she wanted, send it to her, but then don't hang around. Even if you had to go there or send it to her, don't hang around personally. Have it delivered with some, I don't know, some courier or something. Just deliver it. No note, no shit, no nothing. I want her to feel you're there, but you're not paying attention to her because she didn't ask for it, while you're not being rude or dismissive. Just there, but not there. Practice that. Because that's not going to ruin anything. If she wants to come back, she'll come back. If she doesn't want to come back, doesn't matter what you do, she won't come back, right? So right now, at least keep your sanity and your class together. Don't be so available like a doormat. No woman likes a doormat. You don't have to be harsh and rude at all or disrespectful, but you don't need to be a doormat. Oh, yes, dear. Yeah, sure, I'll do that for you. No, none of that shit. All right. Raul says, thank you, sir. Focusing on myself and work. You got this. There we go. There we go. Yep. Okay, FIFA got it. So it looks like we don't have any more questions. All right. At this point, we've had a whopping 7 people here, and we answered 20 questions. 7 people, 20 questions. That's pretty good, isn't it? And we had Emmanuel here, who's probably gone. We had Maya May here, probably gone. Thomas here, probably gone. It's like a restaurant. They come, they get, they go. Nobody hangs around. All right. And Carpe Diem had to go. He had an appointment, and mhm. Okay. Hmm. Yasin says your channel never developed in the side of flowers. Why is that? Yeah, oh, in the side of followers. Why is that? Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. We have reached, I think, about 2 million something people, and so many thousands of questions been answered. But people haven't subscribed more than just about less than 24,000. I have no idea why. I have no understanding. I know channels are there that are somewhat helpful, and some of them are not helpful at all. Just full of shit, nonsense. But they've got 500, 400, 600, 800,000 subscribers. I have no idea. Maybe what we are saying here is nonsense. Who knows? Yasin says you don't answer me. I just did. I just did. You were impatient, I guess. I got to you late, I know, but I did answer. Unless you had other questions that I missed. I don't think so. There's one. Says hello. This is your channel now. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 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 Mike says I asked the question above. Mike, I did answer that. Yeah, I did. These are all previous ones. Okay, guys. Yasin, did you get your answer? I did answer you, didn't I? I did. You don't have anything else there, right? Okay. Mike says, "Do you want another question?" Not really. I'm good. I'm good. Thank you. I can go have my tea and, do some stuff. Morgan says, "You're too real to be mainstream, Mehran. The channels with 200,000 subscribers are all sheeps." Hmm. Love you for that, man. Thank you very much. Yeah. Mike says, "Do you want another?" Okay. No, Mike. I should, you know what I should do in order to get channel moving? I should say from the first minute to 30 minute, all questions are complimentary. From 30th minute to 1 hour, they have a rate. And then from 1 hour above, they have a rate. So the sooner the question is answered, there's a higher rate. And the longer it takes for you to wait for an answer, at the end you'll get, no charge. How about that? We can have the channel kind of have a have a interesting game on that. Somehow we gotta get this channel populated. Mike says okay. Rahul says play the guitar video before closing. Sure, if you want. There it is. It's when I was in a store in a guitar booth, just trying something on, and my son, I didn't know he was recording, and I figured it out at the end.
The last word was just total bullshit. I just made it up. But the idea of being here just for a moment, just gonna forget every shit. And it's just good. Are you taping me?
It was done on a mobile phone, so that's why it was so such a the quality when it expands here. It's not. So okay, guys, it's time for me to say I love you all. Thank you very much for being here, giving me the opportunity to share a thing or two with you, and I look forward to talk to you again. Sometimes very late at night, I have a little bit of a short talk. I don't know if I'll do that tonight or not. Maybe about 11, 12 midnight. Maybe if I'm into it, up to it. And otherwise, I look forward to talk to you next time. In the meantime, be good to yourself and to the others. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.